Hello, this is some guy in Hawaii with a custom spreadsheet for use with the 2024 Borderlands 3 Hunt. The hunt is a Borderlands tradition, a community-run scavenger hunt wherein players try to obtain a copy of as many legendary and unique items as possible in a set amount of time. It's also a charity event to raise money for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. Now, I have participated in multiple hunts, 3 of them involving Borderlands 3. This is an improved version of the spreadsheet I used during the last Borderlands 3 hunt in 2023. A link to it in Google Docs is in the description below. That link should eventually also be available on the hunt website. Now, if you want to use it, either make a copy in Google Docs and open it that way, or download a copy to your computer. You should not be able to do anything with the original document sitting on Google Drive. If you can, let me know so I can fix that. Be advised, if we just use the copy saved to our own Google Drive, most of the cells should be protected, preventing us from accidentally changing or deleting information. If, however, we download a copy to our desktop as an Excel spreadsheet, which you can do if you have Excel, none of the cells will be protected. Okay. In either case, be careful you don't accidentally change anything extra when sorting or checking off an item. Now, between the posting of this video and the start of the hunt, I may make corrections or additions to the spreadsheet. All updates will be dated. So you may want to check Google Docs periodically, at least until the hunt starts, to ensure that you have the most up-to-date version. So why use this spreadsheet? Well, when the hunt starts, there will be a link on the main page, not yet available, to a separate page where we officially claim our drops. It will have a line-by-line list of items, each with a link over to the right. You find the item and click on its link, and it will provide you with a place to upload a video of your claim. That page will show what items we've already claimed and our hunt score total. However, it's not an ideal way to track our progress depending on how we organize our own personal hunt. Okay. A better option is the official spreadsheet provided by the organizers and downloadable also under the assets. Again, though, there are limits to the info provided and what we can do with that spreadsheet. Okay. Enter this custom spreadsheet with a number of useful features I will explain shortly. FYI, if we use either the official spreadsheet or the custom one, we will still have to make 2 entries, okay? One to claim the item officially and one on our own spreadsheet. But again, our own spreadsheet can be sorted and manipulated to suit our own needs, okay? Let's go over how that works. There's some overall info up top followed by a series of sortable columns below, okay? Click on any of these down arrows on this row and a pop-up gives us a chance to sort on that column. Now, some of these columns are self-explanatory, but I'll explain all of that in a minute, okay? Upper left corner, second column has our current point total, and below that, the total number of items we have collected so far. These pull from the first 2 columns below, the claimed column and the PV or point value column. I'll explain those in a moment. The score here should match the one on the official hunt page where we claim drops. However, occasionally, that page has minor issues and totals may not match. Check for discrepancies if that happens. Again, be aware that even if everything except the header row and this column are protected, it is possible to accidentally change sort row labels or enter something unintended in the claim column if not careful. Okay. Now, there are 3 more special numbers across the top 2 rows that can help us better track our hunt progress, but they are a little complicated to explain. If you want to know about that, go to the very, very end of the video after my initial thanks for watching, okay, and I explain that there. Let's go over the columns below. First column is anything we've claimed. Whenever we want to check off an item that we farmed, we find the row for the item we've claimed, put any letter or letter number combo in this column, do not use numbers. I recommend an X most of the time, and then hit return. The first 3 columns will turn green, and the total score and total items up top should change accordingly. Now, I personally use WD for 3 base game road drops we're allowed to claim, and 1 WD, all in caps, for my chosen single allowed road drop. Do what works for you. This is the only column where we should be making any changes to cells. Okay. Second is the point value for the item in that row. Next is the item name plus additional info for certain items. There is a legend at the bottom of the sheet that explains these. We'll come back to those extras later. Next is the abbreviated item type, followed by a number signifying rarity. 1 for common at the low end and 5 for legendary at the other. Okay. The MYHM or Mayhem column has an M for any item which can only be obtained in Mayhem mode. There are a number of items that will not drop in normal mode, signified by just an M here. M for only at Mayhem 4 and above, M6 only at Mayhem 6 and above. Okay. A percentage sign here means that while the item can be obtained in normal mode, in Mayhem mode it has an increasingly higher chance to drop the higher the Mayhem level. Okay. OFC list stands for official list. Sorting on this column puts everything in the same order as the official spreadsheet and on the official webpage where we claim our drops. Okay. OFC list group column shows where the items are grouped on the official spreadsheet and the page where we claim our items. Okay. These are separated into uniques, U, vanilla legendaries, VL, DLC legendaries, DLC, takedown exclusives, TD, and mayhem level locked items, M. Now within each group on the official lists, items are arranged alphabetically. If you are having problems finding an item on the official web page, find it here, sort alphabetically if you need to, then look at the list group code for that item in this column. That should tell you where to look on the web page and more easily narrow down its location. Okay. FYI, I do not list item names by initial articles, but the official spreadsheet does. Okay. I list butcher, comma, the, and duke, comma, the, instead of the butcher or the duke. Okay. But on the official web page, these will be down in the T's of their appropriate group with the thes. Okay. Next is play order, and this is the column I normally sort on and use during most of the hunt. This column sort puts everything in order according to when we first access the map on which the first viable source appears as we work our way through the story. Okay, the first two items dropped by Shiv, the first boss. A ways down, we find the two items dropped by Tyrene at the end of the main story. In between, everything else, including the 3 circles of slaughter, appear as we find and unlock them. Okay, within each piece of content, base game, DLCs, endgame stuff, events, this column tells us what's immediately around us to collect at any given point in the playthrough. Okay, FYI, all 5 Proving Ground bosses and their drops are placed just after Troy because they all become available after we unlock the Iridian Analyzer in the Great Fall. We don't have to wait until we finish the main story. Okay. FYI regarding some side missions. Just because a source is located on a map we have reached does not always mean we can immediately farm that source for its items. Okay, many sources don't become available until after we complete one or more main story or side missions. Okay, Archer Row only appears at the end of the Dynasty Diner mission, which can't be done until we finish the Rise and Grind mission. Okay, Vermalingua can't be farmed at all until we finish both Homestead Parts 1 and 2. Okay, we can't get the Malevolent Practice mission from Hammerlock until after we complete the Lair of the Harpy main mission, even though we rescue Hammerlock shortly after getting to Eden 6. Okay, check the notes. Then comes the 2 takedowns, then each DLC in order, again as each item source is encountered playing through the DLC story. Arms race items are just alphabetical, not story missions, all farmable immediately. Then the raid boss, and then the DLC 6 Ava mystery drops. Okay, last are the events: Bloody Harvest, Broken Hearts, and Revenge of the Cartels. Next column over lists the actual sources. Now, some items have more than one drop source, and alternates are also listed here. A TT next to a Proving Grounds boss means that item only drops if running a true trial. This is also specified in the notes column. Okay. Next is the map or maps where the sources are located. Then the mission types, sometimes actual mission names. Finally, additional notes. Now again, we can sort on any of the columns as we see fit, and again, I normally use the play order column most of the time. Let's go back to the extras in the name column. With one exception, anything with an M to the right is mayhem locked. If it's just an M, it will not drop unless mayhem is turned on. If it says M4 or M6, the item will not drop unless we're playing on M4, M6, and above, respectively. This is redundant info. It's in the mayhem column, but seeing it here may be quicker. Okay. Hellfire says M plus 100% because it can drop on normal mode, but it has a 100% chance to drop in mayhem mode as long as the Jabberwocky is killed by fire. These 2 carrots, that's what these symbols are, signify that the item can be obtained in 2 ways or from 2 different sources. 3 carrots means 3 valid sources. This tells us we have choices about how we go about getting the item. Look to the far right column for details. Asterisk signal my personal world drop recommendation. You can use them or not. Okay, a large percent of items on the list can drop as world drops in the base game or the appropriate DLC. We are allowed per hunt rules to claim exactly one of these without having to farm it from its hunt designated source. Tina's Hippity Hopper and the Shred of Fire have a single asterisk. The Cold Warrior has 3. Why? Cold Warrior is one of 5 items that drop from the System of Slaughter. The other 4 can be farmed faster and more easily, in my opinion, from an alternative source. Okay, Cold Warrior cannot. If we claim it as a world drop and get the other 4 by other means, we can completely ignore System of Slaughter, which I prefer. Okay, Hippity Hopper and Shred of Fire only drop in Slaughter Shaft. We have to run Slaughter Shaft to get at least one of them and possibly the Mayhem level lock sites at Eruption. Okay, Claiming either one can shorten the number of runs we have to do there in the future, but Cold War is better because it can allow us to completely bypass this turn. Okay, I suggest claiming whatever drops first. If the Cold War drops first, claim it. If one of the others drops first and we claim it, but then the Cold War drops, swap it out. Okay. Uppercase WD stands for World Drop, big letters, but designates 3 Slaughter Star 3000 drops from Red Rain and Blue Fire. These 2 bosses have a tendency to throw their items out of bounds, and we are not allowed to access loot lost in the hunt if that happens. So the hunt coordinates allow us to claim them as world drops. Okay, write these 3 on a post-it note, stick it in the corner of your monitor, glance at it periodically, and commit these to memory so that when they drop, you claim them. Okay, because if we claim all 3 as world drops, and in 10 days of hunt play, odds are very high they will all world drop, we can completely avoid Slaughter Star, which again I prefer. Okay, lowercase WD means world drop within specific content. These only drop within DLCs or while events are active, but are always claimable as world drops wherever they show up and not just from the designated sources. Okay. The 4 class mods in the Handsome Jackpot DLC have an increased chance to drop from Jackpot at the very end, but we can claim them anywhere they drop in the DLC. Everything in Arms Race can be claimed wherever it drops, not just from the designated red chest or heavyweight Harker. All the events can drop anywhere the hearts, skulls, and Cartel enemies appear. The 2 broken heart items can be redeemed by shooting 50 and 100 hearts, but they can also drop from golden loot hearts. 4 bloody harvest items can also drop from golden loot ghosts anywhere, as well as from Haunt in Heck. And the Cartel drops can drop from mini bosses outside of Villa Ultraviolet. Okay, all of these are claimable as world drops. Okay, MTD is Model 1 Takedown exclusive. GTD is a Guardian Takedown exclusive. And that's it. If you have questions or comments or notice problems with the spreadsheet, let me know ASAP. There is or will also be a related video about how to maximize our hunt score that goes along with this spreadsheet. Be sure to check that out when it drops. Huge shout out to Killer 6, Bad Karma, and all the folks working behind the scenes on the hunt. Remember to say thank you when you see them. And remember at the end of the day that number 1, this is a charity event to raise money for a worthy cause. And 2, even if you're competing to win, always have fun. You know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more. Stay safe, and thanks for watching. Now, if you are still here, let's talk about the 3 numbers up top I previously skipped over. Okay, this adjusted score multiplies our item total by 2.54, the average point value of each item. Take 941 points, divided by 370 items, you get 2.54 points per item. The hunt is 10 days long, and there are 370 items worth a total of 941 points. Okay, dividing both 370 and 941 by 10 means we should average about 37 items or 94 points a day if we want to get a max score. Now, getting 37 items per day or more early on is not too difficult, but averaging 94 points a day the first few days is really, really hard. This is because 80% of all items are worth 2 points. But 5 and 10 point items make up a significant percentage, over 34% of the maximum possible points. This skews the average towards the high point values, hence the 2.54, okay? 97 points consisting of just 2 point items means at least 47 items per day, and that's including the occasional 1 point item. Most players will not get a chance to collect the 5 and 10 pointers during the first few days. So our score early on is not an accurate indicator of our progress. Our item total is a better indicator. Okay. Towards the end of the hunt, when we can finally farm the harder content that drops the 5 and 10 pointers, point score will start to better define our progress. Okay, so the way to use this is to compare our actual score to our adjusted score. At any given time in the hunt, whichever is greater is the better indicator of our progress. Now, if you understand that, great. If not, don't worry about it. The percentage max score and max items divide both score and items by the maximum possible value for each and gives us a percentage. This is the percentage of the max we have collected up to that point. 6% means we have collected 6% of all points or items as is appropriate. Now, similar to adjusted score, we can use percentages to better gauge our day-to-day progress. Since the hunt is 10 days long, we want these percentages to reflect how much time we have spent so far. End of day 1, we want these numbers to be around 10%, 20% after 2 days, 30 after 3, etc. Again, score percentage can be misleading early on. The item total is a better indicator. Use these numbers or don't. And that's it for the extra figures. Use or don't. Okay, like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more. Stay safe. And again, thanks for watching.